Alright, what's up guys? Garrett here.
Brian from Real Social Dynamics.
That's right, we're the new instructors, in case you haven't heard.
Yeah.
We specialize in college game and fucking high school game. Yep, we've expanded that much.
Yep. Gonna get into middle school. and elementary school.
Toddlers. As in...
in the womb.
We'll have fetus instructors.
You think that I'm putting my dick in the woman, but really I'm putting it in her baby.
Okay.
Okay.
See, I feel like we need a general topic now.
No, just keep talking with the chode thing. Like what would a chode say, do you think, that like you were like being platonic, I guess, but like in a friendly way. So what would a chode say though? That like I guess maybe secretly likes that girl that you would.
See, it's been so long since I've been a chode. I think instead of being
like not a complete chode, just like a
I just think that I feel like chody guys, they don't take risks in anything, you know? Because it's like they're afraid that, oh, if I take this risk, she's not going to respond, or she's not going to like think it's funny, or
I feel like when I do take risks with my female friends, I feel like instantly more respected. For example, like I took when I posted that like workout video, and she responded like, oh, that's cringy. I texted back something like, you know, I love to make you cringe, with like a winky face. And that's like risky for like a friendship almost, I feel. So, and she responded back something like, that was so fuckboy of you. And that's like kind of like,
in your head, that's like a compliment. Like when a girl calls you a fuckboy, like, oh, you're such a fuckboy, you're such a player.
Yeah, like, this is what I'm trying to be like.
Yeah.
Don't you get it? Like, yeah. But
like inside, or you want to be.
I need to rise up to the fuckboy level.
Yeah. You want to be humble about it and be like, no, I'm not a player, I'm not a fuckboy. Like, what are you talking about? But inside, you're just like, damn right, bitch. Like,
yeah. So, but I feel like I instantly get more respect as a man, yes.
Yeah.
Or as a sexual threat.
Yeah. I definitely feel like when, like, everyone's so focused on when you like get in a relationship, it's like everyone thinks, oh, I gotta be romantic and I gotta be like fucking cute with girls, but then they don't realize like to get there you have to be like a fucking douche.
You have to like build your credentials up almost.
Yeah.
It's like to have that soft personality, you have to build those credentials up.
Yeah.
Of like being the man, and then you come down from man. It's like, it, you know, allows the woman to be like, oh, she like tamed you, some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, he stopped when he around me.
I almost feel like I have to fake being like a chode or like
but
romantic and shit. You know?
Yeah, like, but like it's like funny faking to be a chode though, and the girl knows you're faking or something, or she knows that side of you is like ingenuine.
Yeah. Well, I saw this video where they talk about like the difference between like an alpha male, a beta male, and omega male. Is that
omega male? I'm the omega-3 male.
Like, omega-3 fatty acids. But like no, like
fuck them. I'm gonna go omega-6 on you, motherfucker.
Omega is like the lowest of the low. Like
they like carotene.
Give you my beta carotene.
Yeah, go on.
Like an omega male is like picture just like a fucking golem like who picks up like the scraps from like just fucking maybe at like a bar or something. They just go for the ugly girls, or
it's like the people who are really faking to be alpha.
Yeah,
it's super ingenuine when they do it.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. I think that's more like the beta male. The beta male's like.
But what were you talking about though? I thought we were talking about the beta man.
Yeah, we are. I'm like trying to say like the differences. So like the omega male is like even lower than the beta male, so they just like pick up the scraps. And the beta male has like results, but they're more like it said in the video they were saying like.
They're not aggressive towards it, I think.
Yeah.
It's more like it comes to them occasionally.
Exactly. They get like, they don't get scraps, but they fall more into like the friend zone part with a girl as opposed to being like a sexual option. Yeah. And then it also said
it's like Elliot Holmes talks about tender aggressive. Way too fucking tender.
Yeah. And then they also said like the beta male attracts masculine girls. And then when I saw that, I was like, holy shit. Like 2 years ago, I was a beta male because I was getting it like occasionally, but all the girls, they weren't feminine. They're all.
No, I wouldn't say that though. I would say that the girls maybe are more motherly. And then I think being motherly is within the genre of femininity. Motherly is like the motherliness is like the masculine side of femininity, because it's still like a matriarchal, like it's the leader type. So it's masculine in that sense.
But I mean, I feel like a masculine girl, they kind of display like just very manly traits. Not like physically, maybe physically.
Like an example.
They obviously don't take care of themselves. Like a girl I dated who was super masculine. She was like super feminist. She didn't take care of herself as much as like her friend was like a 9. Like she was super hot and she was super feminine, and like she took care of herself physically and all this stuff. And then the masculine girl, she was just like feminist, and she was into like politics, like hardcore, you know,
Yeah.
as opposed to like, oh my god, fucking Kylie Jenner lip kit, you know, like, which is weird that I'd rather have a girl who is like into all that superficial shit than like a girl who's like a feminist and into like politics and all that stuff. So it's like those masculine traits, I guess, is what I'm getting at, you know?
So like, I guess like a firmness almost.
Like the girl?
Yeah, like she has like firm opinions.
Yeah. I don't like that. I like a girl that I could
It's like she's feisty kind of.
Yeah.
Maybe. I feel like there's a feminine version of very feisty girls.
Yeah. Well, it's like when you see a really feminine girl, like what's your image of a really feminine girl?
I think there's different types though. Like there's the homely girl that's like girl next door type, but then there's also the very like elegant or sexy like Latina chick.
Okay. Which would probably be on like the
and like it's like in
matriarchal-
the Way of a Superior Man by David Data, he talks about like hot versus cold girls. So like Asian girls would be more like, I mean this on like a spectrum. I don't mean like cold personality or hot personality or whatever. I just mean on the spectrum. It's like cooler, like temperature or whatever of the personality is like cooler for Asian girls, and for Latina girls it's like red. It's like hot. It's like hot. You feel?
But they're both feminine.
Yeah. But it's a spectrum.
Okay. Weird. I wonder what causes like the more Latina to be like more fiery, and then like the probably just cultural differences, huh?
Yeah, because a lot of like human behavior is definitely it's extremely cultural influenced.
Yeah. I don't know. It's something about like, but it's weird. It's like I feel like I went through that. I feel like to get to be an alpha male, you have to go through like the omega phase, the beta male phase, and then like until you're totally alpha. Like another alpha trait is like being slow and controlled in everything you do, you know?
But I feel like it's also just the way you're raised too. Like if you're kind of raised in like if you meet people from like Africa, like actually from the continent of Africa, these people are really like these people are like really fucking happy. Like I've never met a depressed person from Africa. Really,
there's tons of depressed people.
Okay, well,
fucking starving and like.
No, I know, but like they have like it's like I don't know, something about the cultural difference is like they're super light and they're just naturally like very slow. Like I don't think they had to rise through all this like beta male bullshit to get to where they are. It's like, oh, I'm just like this, like oh. Like of course, it's like of course. Why would I want one girlfriend when I could have 400? Like it's not, some shit like that.
But maybe they do have to go through it, just not in a sense with like girls. You know, like what if, you know, like I feel like no one is
just
just
like everyone has struggles, but like
yeah,
not with girls though. Maybe not in the, because like alpha males still have to go through like struggle.
Yeah, they just don't show it on the outside.
I don't think they don't show it on the outside, because like if you see LeBron James or some shit, like he's crying at the basketball games. Like he's crying on the court, like, and he's like a high testosterone motherfucker. So.
But I mean, I feel like
they're like vulnerable.
Alpha males?
Yeah.
How so?
Because they're presenting themselves completely honestly. That makes them more vulnerable.
That's an alpha male trait, though.
Yeah.
So if you're crying, like, because it's like. If you're crying because you're showing that, like, vulnerableness and you don't really give a fuck, like, that's different than if you're crying because you got fucking, like, punched in the face or something and you're just like, stop it, you know, like, like, please, no more. So, like, that would be more of, like, a beta or, like, omega. So it's all in, like, the context, I guess. But, I mean, I think everyone still has like beta, omega, and alpha male tendencies. But like I've seen myself go through like the cycle of being like a little pathetic bitch to like, okay, I need to change and do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's also kind of crazy that like people, they don't keep improving, so they'll never hit that, like, you know?
I think most people aren't conscious of whether they're improving or not, though.
Yeah.
They're just trying to like get through it.
Get by.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like keeping them like at a lower level than they could be at.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
It's really fucking sad.
like my friends, like my friends make fun of me because I'm into like self-help stuff. But yesterday he was like, so like a little friend group or whatever. It's like I got one guy, my friend, who was my best friend for a while. Now we're not like best friends anymore, but we're still close, I guess, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But he has like nothing going on, so it's like he has like nothing to talk about except like smoking weed.
Yeah.
So, but then there's another girl, and she's like low-key a genius. Like she's like really into psychology, and then her boyfriend is like this like shy beta male guy, who's like also friendly with everybody, but he's like kind of like, you know, like under that he's like has like the nice guy syndrome or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So like he still still haven't had sex, and it's been like 3 years. So like, and she tells me like yeah, dude, like I get horny like a lot, and like she tried. I think she was trying to like.
Has she had sex though?
No.
Oh, okay.
But one time she FaceTimed me and she's like wearing like a bra and shit. Like she's like trying to like release other ways, but like like I don't like her like that though. But like, where are we going with this? What are we talking about before?
Were you talking about like tendencies, beta male tendencies?
Oh yeah, so my friend was they always make fun of me like I'm into self-help and stuff, and like he was like joking like, bro, I want to get into self-help. JK, I don't need that shit. I'm like, you need the most. Like, oh my god, holy fucking shit, dude. Like,
dude, that's the thing, because like I feel like a majority of people aren't into like self-development or anything like that, or they don't even take it as seriously as like we do, you know?
they just think it's like one of those niches.
Yeah.
They take it as a niche.
Exactly.
It's not like a
lifestyle.
The way I feel like it's like a lifestyle. It's an all-encompassing thing that encompasses all your other hobbies or whatever.
Yeah. I think those are
and
people...
it's like placing a label on it though, too.
Yeah.
Like really, like what I want to do is like just be happy, really. But I am placing a label on. It's like really I want to like know like the truth about life almost. But in a sense, there is a part of me that's holding me back.
The human side.
Yeah, the ego. The ego. When the ego gyrates and shit.
I think like, I don't know, whenever I have like all my friends that aren't into like self-development, they're always just kind of just like getting by, and like I see their Snapchats and they're just like at a bar and they're like celebrating it and they're like drinking like beer in hand, you know, and I'm just like, they're never gonna reach like a point where they're like successful. Like if they think like, oh, like I want to be rich one day, like they'll never get to like be millionaire rich or like find true happiness, because they
also I think they like don't give a fuck though. It's like there's like a positive side to it where it's like they want to show everybody they're having fun.
Yeah.
So it's like that side's good.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's another side of it. It's like, what else? It's like Arson Tyler talks about like, what else could you be doing? And they're not even like trying to improve themselves at the bar like you know, all the guys in the group are like,
dude, it's like
we're like going to the bar for self-improvement and shit.
It's like
we're going to the bar like, let's have fun. Like I mean, yeah, okay, like that's the point. Like let's have fun, but like
yeah.
we have to learn how to have fun.
Yeah, it's like every time I go out, I make sure I'm improving in some way, which is like
I need to break out of some comfort zone. Like, you know, like they're just like drink. Like
it's like I think when you know you're gonna be successful is when you literally every situation you're in, you're thinking of like, okay, how can I grow from this? You know, like how can I become like get something out of this I could take with me, and you know. Whereas people like don't like normal people who aren't into this stuff, they don't think like that. They just like oh fuck yeah, party, like we're just
like they're run by like the monkey mind or whatever. It's called meditation.
Yeah.
So like the David Hawkins guy, he talks about there's like levels of spiritual enlightenment, like calibration or whatever. So like anything below 200, that's like animals. Like it's like you're run by the same animal, and most people are at lower than 200. But it's like letting those.
Wait,
tendencies
most
run
people
you.
are lower than 200, so they're all at animal level.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And then, no, but like I don't know, like I don't know. It's like you could take it with a grain what do you call it? A grain of salt. Like he said some woo woo shit too. Like, but what was I gonna say? So like it's like 200. So like he says, I'm not like religious or whatever, but he says Jesus was the most enlightened individual because he reached the enlightenment level of 1,100, which is like super fucking enlightened.
Like
and
fucking Dragon Ball, just like
yeah,
Dragon Ball Z
it's
shit.
like it's like Dragon Ball Z shit.
Levels,
yeah,
like,
and also Buddha. So like Buddha and him were like at the same level.
Okay.
So, but most people will never reach that in their lifetime.
These are like levels of consciousness, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
most people are not at the level of consciousness anywhere near like that. They're below 200.
It's kind of interesting because it's like I look at people like Gandhi or something. It's like I wouldn't. Maybe it's just because I'm not at his level of consciousness yet, or I probably never will be. But like when I look at that, I'm like, that doesn't seem like a good time. Like where it's like, oh, spend your whole day just like meditating, or like none of this fucking matters. Like none of these.
Oh, but it's like one of my books I'm reading right now. It's called Tao Te Ching. Tao doesn't even like shit. It's like Chinese shit, and it's one of the most famous spiritual books. And it's and when I first bought the book, like I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Like I saw one good quote from it on YouTube, so I bought the book and I was like, what the fuck is this? I don't understand this. Read it 2 days ago, I'm like, oh shit, this is some deep ass shit. So one of the things was like, you can stop for, I can't remember the exact quote, but it was like, you can stop for music, and you can stop and hear some good music on the street or something, and you can stop for a beautiful sight. But the Tao, just like the life force or whatever, lasts forever. So it's like it's unending. The music will end, and what do you have at the end of that? But it's like if you listen to the Tao or whatever, that's unending. So it's like what you were saying about Gandhi and stuff. It's like I guess he realizes that because like it's like we're searching for right now we're in a group to get like pussy and shit like, but like and I feel like that is something that I have to go through just to evolve my soul, like fucking virgin. Like I need to. Maybe I don't need to. Like I don't know.
No, you do. Yeah. I feel like in order to reach like higher levels of consciousness, you have to go through life experiences.
Yeah, like Bhagavad Gita says, there's three ways to enlightenment, which is action, self-contemplation, which is like meditation, and then selfless service. So, as Tyler says, it's like as a young guy, you want to like take action. It's like you don't want to, sit in a fucking cave and meditate all day.
Yeah.
Like,
and like think you're like this supreme being above everyone else because you didn't partake in those like.
No, it's not because people who do meditate all day, they don't think they're like that. That's like a like Gandhi does not think he's above those people. I think that's like a misinterpretation.
But I'm saying there are people like that who haven't experienced.
But they're not really up there.
No,
that's they're very prideful. That's below 200 level of enlightenment. That's below 200. Still,
well, fucking mind trip. It's
190 is pride or something like that. So it's like right above pride is like courage or some shit, and that's like on the level. That's the level that's going up.
Damn.
So yesterday I was feeling like, like the 2 days before, fucking I can say this in Japanese. I can't say this in fucking English. This is weird, but like the 2 days before yesterday, I was feeling like I had like some weird spiritual experiences where like I was doing some weird breathing shit, and I felt like my entire consciousness was in my head, like not in like a mental way, but like in a physical way. I was like, holy shit! My arms are not me. I was like, oh damn, Then
Wait, was that the first time you experienced that?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
It was like.
Was that after reading the book?
I can't.
Or?
That was after reading the book, but
Okay.
it wasn't related to that. I was like doing some just weird breathing stuff. So I was like looking at my hands and I was like, this is not me. Like this is here, but it's not me. Like whatever I am, it's not. This is like I'm not my body. Like
Yeah.
that's like one
It's
of
like
the.
you're not your name. You're not anything.
No, you're not. You're not your body. You're not your mind. You're not you're not even your soul or whatever. It belongs to like divinity basically. Whatever this other higher thing is, my soul is basically just the expression of divinity, and that's it. Like I'm not observing anything. I'm just I'm literally just the
You just are.
no, I am the observingness. I'm not
Oh, okay,
I'm not
I see
the
what you're
observer.
saying.
I'm the observingness. I'm a phenomena. This is literally just a phenomena.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a
trapped in a physical vessel.
I wouldn't say trapped. It's just this is literally just like a phenomena.
A phenomenon of
This observingness, it's a phenomena. So I can't feel trapped because I'm nothing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's like nothing exists and everything exists. So yeah, deep
Yeah,
shit
that's
goes
fucking super deep.
So so yesterday, I woke up and I was like, you know, doing like the letting go shit that David Hawkins do. I recommend it. It's like you feel really fucking light after it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to explain because there's no actual technique. But I just tell myself, let go of resistance, and then, because it's like anytime there's suffering or something, according to him, I'm like into the David Hawkins shit right now. So it's like anytime there's like suffering, according to him, it's when you're resisting something. So it's like I tell myself, okay, let go of resistance to a thought or emotion or something, and then I kind of feel it like come into me, which is weird because like it's like I thought I just experienced it, but no, I didn't. It's like I didn't let it come into me or whatever.
Mm.
And then like I feel like that lets it go, and then I feel much better after that. It's really weird.
Interesting. I kind of like.
Oh, but wait, I was saying, but yesterday I woke up like that, and then I did my hair. I started listening to music, and then I felt like I came out of that. I was stuck in some like ego mind state, and I felt guilty about that. But it's like also guilt is very narcissistic.
Mm.
It's like, oh, it's me doing this, and I shouldn't be doing this because it's me doing this. Like it's still very narcissistic because it's like you're just an expression of observingness.
Mm.
It's like, why are you placing a judgment on it? But it's like to advance your consciousness or whatever, you have to be grateful, not prideful. So at the end of the day, because I was very like that day yesterday, I was feeling very prideful about my looks. It's like, damn, I'm so handsome. Like, you know, at a level like that's good, but like not when you're very prideful about it. It's like it's stuck to your ego, and you don't want to mess up your hair or some shit. You know, and you're like, your self-image is like big.
Mm.
So at the end of the day, I posted like a selfie on like Snapchat or something. Like if you look at Snapchat, you'll see it. But like so it's like, you know, I look fucking good in the selfie. But then the caption was like, interesting concept. Be prideful, be grateful, not prideful. The real reason I posted that was to remind myself, because I know when I look up like who watched it and shit, I'm like gonna be like looking at that like, oh, fuck, I have to be like grateful fucking about it, not prideful.
So like when you say it's like when you have those narcissistic like feelings, like because I do it too. Like when you look in the mirror after a workout or some shit, you're like, oh, I look fucking good.
You're like, damn, like any girl will lay me right now. Like,
so you shouldn't be like, damn, I look fucking good, and like be prideful of it, but you should be like, wow, I'm so grateful for like that I'm able to do this.
Yeah, I'm so grateful that I wasn't born into like that. I didn't have a heart or something for this.
Interesting. So what does that do? What does that do to your like the way you think when you're grateful and not prideful?
It makes your ego less attached to it. You're like, okay, I'm like, it's like Can you repeat your question?
So like when something good happens to you and you're like, oh, like I'm the fucking shit, or you're just like building yourself up, you're building up like your ego, and you're just like, I'm so fucking badass.
It's like if you come down from that, then you're gonna feel like worthless almost. It's like I was up there.
Okay.
Or like maybe like my hair's not good today. It's like, well, shouldn't it be better? Like, could I be better? It's like not being happy with like right now.
Okay. I almost feel like being grateful too. It's like you're almost thanking, like how you're saying we're a phenomenon. Like you're just grateful for.
You're like thanking the divinity or some
yeah,
shit.
whatever
Like,
it is that fucking put you here.
It's like you're putting that emotion into the world.
Yeah.
So people from the group are gonna think it's really fucking cool.
They're probably not even watching.
No,
it at
John
this point.
Keen, you're gay.
But like, seriously, if you're still watching this and you haven't gotten into like meditation or anything like that, like from my experience, what happened to me was like I remember my friend, he was he was like meditating and he'd talk about it and be like,
You see, like right now I'm like fixing my fucking hair because I think this like thing looks good. Like
I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful.
oh, you're so grateful.
Even saying it like that is prideful. But like,
but it's humorous though, and humor shows like the characteristic of humor is like liberation.
okay.
Yeah, so if you make it funny, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, yeah.
Good thing we made it funny at the end.
yeah.
But like, how did you get into like spirituality and like meditation? Also, like, what was the trigger for all that?
Because like I was like really like a religious like a really fucking religious Jew for a long time, and then I realized like there's got to be more to this. Like I don't think like I have not seen any proof for this God stuff, and I'm really caught up in religionism instead of spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm caught up in the what do you call it? Like I'm caught up in prayer, but maybe my like mind and heart is not in it, you know?
Yeah.
Or it's like you know.
It's almost like you're asking
I'm like,
for favors and
like
shit,
washing
too.
my hands like in the Jewish way or whatever.
Yeah.
like
what's the point of this?
But it's just a religionism. It's not like you're living in spirituality. So I just realized like, oh shit, there's like, I'm like aware. And this is really fucking trippy. I'm like aware of what's going on around me. I'm a consciousness. I'm aware. Like, so there's got to be more to this.
Yeah.
So.
And then what? Did you just look into meditation and all that stuff, or?
Meditation is fairly recent for me.
Oh really? It's kind of recent for me.
Because I feel like. The reason I started it was not for spiritual gain. It was for like a couple months ago when I started. It was like well, I need to become more unstifled.
Mm.
And maybe like it would help with like social anxiety or something.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, well, I don't want to be like that anymore. So it's just like, you know, very basic stuff. Not like, no, to find the truth of the world and universe and shit.
But when you start meditating, that's when you start thinking about like, holy shit, like, what else is there, you know?
Yeah.
Because like if, like that's...
No, but and then it's like, so like one of my realizations or whatever, not realization, but like, that was like one of the biggest realizations I got from meditation was like, no, this is it. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't really explain my feeling or whatever, but it's like, the only words that I could use are like one, like with a period, and then it, with a period. That's it. When you're meditating, it's like it. It's like holy shit,
like everything is just
it
is, yeah.
Yeah.
I like for me too, like
and everything lives in silence.
Yeah.
It's like sound almost isn't real.
Yeah.
It's like
it's just the bliss of like
I think like
nothing.
Sound is almost like when you imagine something with sound and you like, you know, fantasize about something, it's like you're glamorizing it.
Mm. So even that's
like,
painful.
yeah, it's like
I can't listen to my favorite.
It's like when you think about
now.
When you think about like I don't know like World War II or something, or like the American Revolution, or you know Alexander the Great's conquest. It's like you think about it, and that all happened in silence.
I don't get that.
It's like
what do you mean?
I don't know, maybe when you like think about it, you think like glory or shit, and it kind of adds these emotions that's not silence. I don't know how to explain it. It's like an emotion that's not silence. It's like nothingness. It's like when you imagine it, there's like no nothingness in it, usually.
I don't think I'm there yet.
Like, I can't explain it, but
like, I don't know, for me, so my friend who's...
Just imagine like a big World War II battle, and imagine that without sound. How like almost pleasant is that, or like it's like peace. Like, even like
but then
even
you still
even,
have the visuals.
But even if people are getting their heads blown off or whatever, like it's like it's habit. You never imagine it silent.
What about when people are shell shocked and they can't hear anything, and then it's like they still see everything?
But I think when you see that in movies, there's almost like a piece about it though.
A piece? What do you mean?
Like you know, like in the beginning of Saving Private Ryan, it's
when
almost
he's
like
shell shocked.
Yeah, it's like you see I mean, you kind of in the movie you still hear like that.
Yeah.
But like that's kind of like I'm saying without that too, like you kind of see it like and you're just like, Can't explain it that well, but
I mean, when I got into meditation, like I was like super religious too, and then I remember my friend was like meditating and stuff. I was like, all right, like I'll try that. Like we'll see what this is all about. Mm-hmm. And then it didn't work for me. I was just like, because in my head I was just like, this is so fucking boring. Mm-hmm. And then I remember just like, the more I got into like self-development, and and then I took this class where it kind of talks about like where you're questioning like, is God even real? And then just that was enough for me to be like, okay, maybe there is something else to this. Like, I'm in college, like everyone is a different religion, you know. Mm-hmm. Whereas like my whole life I was raised in like Catholic private school, you know. Mm-hmm. And then I like looked up like the most successful people, they all meditate. I was like, all right, there's something there, you know.
Yeah.
So like then I just started doing it. Like I'd have like this app, and then I would do like listen to the app, and it was like a guided meditation. And then after like the first time I did it, like the right way, like mm-hmm. I just felt like total bliss, and I was just like, mm-hmm. like what the fuck? Like I feel like I'm like,
feel like
high as shit or something.
You feel like detached from all your problems and stuff.
You like open your eyes, and then you like look at your room, and you're just like whoa, like I've never noticed like all these things, like you know?
Yeah.
It's like really weird, and then eventually that feeling fades, and then you're like back into like
you're back into the ego.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I feel like music. Like if I listen to music after I meditate, that will bring me back to the ego-ness of being.
Mm-hmm. But don't you think a part of life is like still, it's not to completely destroy your ego, but to
like to accept it.
Yeah.
But not to take it seriously.
Hmm.
It's like it's a big joke. I mean, if you think about it, like it's a big fucking joke. This whole like living shit. But big fucking joke.
Let me ask you this: do you think that we would be here today, like our society, like how far we've evolved, if it wasn't for the ego? It's like think of all the things we created just because.
But I think the ego is the pinnacle of consciousness, of human evolution, in regards to consciousness, awareness.
So it's actually
we literally became like. It's like the pinnacle of being animalistic.
It's like the thing that separates us from.
No, it's not the thing that separates us. It's the thing that expresses it, or something. Like.
Well, do animals have an ego?
I mean, it depends on what species they are, really.
Do you think
like some animals are greedy, some animals don't have greedy characteristics?
But like, what's your definition of consciousness? Do you think consciousness is us realizing that, oh, we're thinking beings? Like, being able to identify, isn't that the ego?
It's more like, I think it's more like, oh, we're here.
So isn't that the ego, though? Because we created like a...
Yeah, I think that is, that is the ego.
So it's almost like the ego has something to do with our or the ego is created by realizing we are conscious. And then by realizing we're conscious and having the ego, like we're able to do all these crazy things. Like the reason we're in a fucking library right now is because...
think about like why is the library amazing though? You know, like ants, they build like, you know, big castles and shit. Mm-hmm. Like that's just like, this is like our version. That's how I kind of feel about it. It's like I don't want to say I'm not impressed. Like I kind of like realize like the beauty of it or whatever, but it's like, you know, like the Eiffel Tower or some shit, or you know Taj Mahal. It's like, it's just like human expressions. That's it. Mm-hmm. It's like placing like some big label on it. Oh, it's the fucking Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
It's like no, it's just a building. It's beautiful. But, you know,
yeah,
I appreciate beauty.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. Like I'm totally like I'm very like minimalistic. So it's like everything. Like, I feel like you don't need a lot of money, you don't need anything really, because, like, you are complete with just, like, who you are, you know? Mm-hmm. So, like...
Yeah, you're it. Yeah. That's what I mean by it.
Yeah.
Itness.
That all developed just from, like, meditation, like, and, like, getting more spiritual, like, realizing that. But before, I was totally like, oh, you need to fucking hustle hard to make a shitload of money. But then... And I put all this value on, like, material things. But it's, like, because I understand both sides to it now... Mm-hmm. It's like I'm approaching like all these material things. It's like the material things aren't what I'm aiming for anymore. It's like my higher purpose. But like it'd be cool to have all these things too, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like I guess it's like what you're saying about being prideful and grateful. It's like if I get those things, I'd be grateful. I wouldn't be like, check out my fucking fancy car, you know? But I think before I started meditating and all this stuff, I was definitely like that's in my head. I was like, I want to get the fucking mansion and like hot ass women
like,
to show off.
People respect me.
Exactly.
Like I still feel like that's like, I feel like I don't know, like people not respecting me as a man or whatever. I still have like a pain body for that, but like
that never goes away either. I feel like
that does go away because then you just don't give a shit once you're really reach a certain level of consciousness. Like, just like, well, why do I mean, everybody's an expression of divinity or whatever. So this placing all these labels and shit on what people respect me or don't respect me as, it's, you know, meaningless.
See, I think I'm at like the peak of that because like I finally am like realizing like, okay, people are gonna tell me all these things about myself or like things I want to do, no matter what age you are, it's just you're still gonna keep getting shit.
And it's really not them saying it's their ego.
Yeah.
It's based on their worldview. They're coming from a place of viewing it through their own worldview.
And they want to think they're right, so they push it onto other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, I think the hardest to deal with is like your parents. It's like they expect something of you, but then you want to go this way, and then there's just like that like tension that creates from that. And then just...
Oh, I never felt like that from my parents. I feel like
really?
my parents actually like
they support you.
They verbally told me like when I was like in 4th grade, like my dad verbally told me like basically like we gave up on you. You can do whatever basically you fucking want and we'll support you, but like we gave up on you for like what we want from you. Like that's like one of my like childhood memories of like, because I remember.
Like, how old were you?
I was like 8 or something.
8?
No. Maybe it might have been 11. No. So yeah, I think so 11. No, I might have been like 9. Cause like my childhood was like my mom threw temper tantrums a lot. Like at like a 9-year-old. Like since I was like really little, like she threw giant temper tantrums where she would like, you know, like I wouldn't do my homework or some shit. She'd burst into tears, go cry in her room, and I'd just be like, what do I do? Like that was like a big part of my childhood. And then like, I think they just broke with that because I never did my schoolwork, and I still really don't do my schoolwork. Like I'm still like bad with that. And then my dad was like never like not there. He was there. We like did shit, but like we never really talked about like school and shit like that. He just said just do good, that's it, like, stuff like that. And then he just goes with my mom. So I remember like one time my mom threw like one of her biggest temper tantrums ever, where like she like went on the phone and like she's like started crying and stuff because I was doing my work. She started like yelling and stuff, and like, you know, cussing or whatever. I was like 11, and then she was like, you know, she went to the phone like, I'm gonna call the cops if you touch me, to my dad. Like she's just like, I'm fucking emotional. But then like later, maybe later the next day or something, me and my dad went to a movie or something. On the way back, he told me something like, yeah, we give up on you with school, or like Ima, my mom, like is giving up on you or something because we can't control you or something like that. I was just like, oh, shit. Well, I mean, I kind of want this, but like fuck, might have fucked up.
What do you mean you're giving?
So like,
up?
Yeah, I feel like I don't have that same like problem like my parents wanting me to do something. It's like they know I'm like set.
But like, do you think like right now, do you think they're nervous for like what the future holds for you, or do you think they're like, oh, he'll be fine?
Nervous, I think.
Nervous?
Yeah, nervous.
Yeah.
How for you?
For me, it was like, I feel like I went through that same shit with like my parents, maybe not to that extent, but like my mom, they never told me like they're gonna give up on me, so they kept kind of just laying the hammer down like every single time until I kind of just broke and did what they said, and then like that carried on.
Dude, I never broke.
Yeah,
like I literally
like,
never broke.
Well, it's like my mom made it hard to break because like after we'd fight, she'd come back and she'd be like when I'm like crying in my room, she'd knock on the door. She'd be like knock on the room like when I'm in my room, and she'd be like, hey. She'd be like I didn't mean what I said. You know,
no, my mom did the same shit.
She did that,
but I still didn't break. I was like, well, I still don't want to do it. So I was like,
see, like I don't think either way is right or wrong, but like now that I'm in college, it's like I think now they're finally like loosening the leash a little bit and being like, okay, like this is your life.
Did they like pick your major or something, or like?
No,
like some parents do that. Like they pick the kids' majors and shit.
They kind of did because I didn't have an idea of what I wanted to do. It's like from my parents' view is they think
Did you want to be in business when you got into
No.
college?
I was like criminal justice. Because I thought I wanted to be in the FBI. I thought. I didn't.
Yeah, it's glamorized. It's
Yeah.
Like, FBI agent.
Yeah. But even for like...
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm gonna be a cop. No, but like... like fucking...
San Francisco PD. Like,
Bryce! But like...
That's what people are thinking, actually, though.
I think of like the other guys, like Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, and you see like...
But I feel like I'm gonna have a partner, and we're gonna find like deer vaginas in cars. Like,
yeah, they found a deer vagina. It's like, how does that even happen? But like that's what I thought I wanted to do, and then my mom was just like happy with it because her whole, from the way she was brought up, school is everything. You know, like school is how you get a job, and
that's like that generation, like our parents' generation is like school.
Exactly.
If you don't go to college, like you're fucking dumb.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like I'm literally just in school because what I realized about school is it like now that I'm a business major and I doing all this other stuff that I understand about business, it's like a school is a business. Like they create this shit to make money and to keep people here. Not that's like their plan, but it's like they understand that the world runs on this system of giving people degrees. So yeah, they're gonna bank off that shit, you know? Like they want people to go to school. They want the system to continue. And I think what millennials are starting to realize is like you don't need a degree to become successful because now the only way to become like a millionaire or billionaire is to create your own shit. And that's like...
You're not going to be a billionaire working for somebody else.
Exactly. Like, you might be able to, not a billionaire, but you might be able to make millions just by being, like,
by being the number two, or,
Yeah, smart investing and shit like that. But, like, it's going to be, like, fucking painful getting there, just, like, physically, when you work a 9 to 5 and, like, all the shit you have to go through. But, like, and it won't be fun, because it's not something you want to do. Well, maybe you do want to do it, but that's because you don't think you could create something else. But, anyways, like... I feel like that's like the part that I've been finally trying to convince my parents of is, look, if I want to be successful, I'm not going to work a 9 to 5. I'm not going to do what you expect of me because that's what you did. So it's like me finally being like, here's my passion, here's what I want to do, I know how to get there, here's like what I want to do. And then them seeing that like plan set out, they're finally like, okay, maybe he will be okay. And then my mom told me, she's like, look, as long as you can like, you're financially stable and can take care of yourself, do whatever the fuck you want. That's pretty much what she told me. And then I was just like, fuck yeah, like, but so like,
the respect.
Yeah, like, finally
yeah,
got the respect. And then like, I think like that's something I had to learn on my own, and it wasn't like same with you. It's like you learned all this shit about life just on your own, you know? It's like you didn't learn it
totally
from
gratifying way you go.
Yeah. Just be grateful.
Yeah. So grateful. Yeah.
And it's like that's I think what true knowledge is like when you're not taught it, it's like you have that drive inside.
I think maybe there is no such thing as true knowledge though. Cuz I don't know, in my experiences past couple days, it's like it's like there's no knowledge or whatever cuz all this knowledge is very abstract or something.
It's like it's not a thing that can be measured.
It's not a thing that can be measured. It's just like it's real, but it's not gonna last forever. But it's like we're observing the info that we have.
Yeah.
So it's really fucking deep. But like,
no, I get it though. It's like I used to read books just because like I got that satisfaction of like, yes, I read a book. You know?
Yeah.
And then like I would like force myself to listen to audiobooks and all this shit. And then, like, I was always wondering, like, why I couldn't, like, pertain the information. And it's because, like, I'm using it as, like, a form of measurement almost. And, like, instead of seeing it for, like, oh, I want to do this with my life, let's look into it more, you know? And, like, now...
Yeah, so you have no use for it, so you're going to lose it.
Yeah.
Like, use it or you lose it. But, like, what do you... Like, you read a book about, like, I don't know, like... Even, like, with Jason Capital, like, he's reading books about, like, Julius Caesar, like... Okay, he remembers the one story. What else can he say about Julius Caesar when he's not like into being into Julius Caesar?
When I watch some of his videos, I'm like, maybe he's just fucking researching small stories of like Julius Caesar so he could like share a life lesson or something. You know?
I get a historian that's like have all this like little stories, but like the other people that are not historians or whatever, they're not really into it, are just like, oh, just like, yeah, find a story that illustrates this point.
Mm. But even then, I feel like it's not even bad that he does that, you know? It's like, it's not bad.
No.
Yeah. It's like kind of with like Greg or something on Keto Body, it's like when he was talking about that whole keto diet thing, you know, he probably didn't fully understand it just because he's been doing all this research throughout the years. It's like he's just probably looked up some stuff, like some legit articles, and was like, okay, gotta study this stuff so I can make this video, you know? Because it's like, even he was doing a live stream and he was like, all right, guys, like send me like what you want to see next. I need some ideas for videos. So it's like, no one.
I'm interested in the Kino booty thing, bro.
Really?
I want to get the Kino booty.
Keto booty. I need that in my life. But like, it's like even these guys we look up to on like YouTube or just like successful people, they don't fully have like the knowledge of like.
No, I feel like all these people too. They're it.
Yeah.
Like they're like all they ever will be, they are.
Mm.
So it's like, and same with me though. Same with you. Like of course, you know, we'll reach different levels of consciousness or whatever.
Mm. And we'll absorb more knowledge the older we get.
Yeah, but like, maybe not even absorb more knowledge. Just becoming more grounded. Really, I feel like that's all knowledge really is. Becoming more grounded.
But I mean, if you're
knowledge kind of like grounds you, or it's like.
What do you mean by grounded?
Or it's like. You become more wise. You don't really act on your emotions. I feel like when you're young, everything's more sporadic. Everything's very staccato. It's like staccato lifestyle.
So do you think that's just due to like biological factors or?
I don't know, because maybe there's some like fucking kids in African jungle that are like really fucking like grounded. So it might be just our culture.
Or just the more enlightened you get, the more grounded you get?
Mm-hmm.
So do you think there's people in their like 50s who are still like sporadic and like because
it's like they never matured or some shit.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
I've
like, seen that.
And you know people like that, and like they're like crazy people.
Yeah.
And it's like they like, you know, gossiping my family or shit, but like you're never gonna see this. That's fine. Your people are never gonna meet them. But like my aunt and her boyfriend are like people meet them and they're like, holy shit, these people are crazy. Like my my aunt's boyfriend came to a bar mitzvah party. He came there drunk, and he just started talking to all these random people, and like that's the way he lives his life.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way they make money, because they live in like a couple $1 million house in like downtown, just because she was like a real estate, or a long time ago she was like really good at real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So now she had like a lot of money from that. And now the only way they make money now is by renting out the rooms in the house for Airbnb, like $900 a night. Just like, so yeah, that's how they make money. But they're very like, they're in their late 40s, so it's like, when you talk to them, it's like a child talking to like a person my age or something. But that's not in a good way.
Yeah.
It's not youthful. It's not a youthful way.
It's just like immaturity.
Yeah.
That's how like my ex's mom was. It was just like, God, this lady's like a fucking 10-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just the way they act.
Get
like,
your life in order.
Yeah, for real. Like
focus on your priority. No. I don't know. It's just like their vibe is just like, yeah.
So I think
the decisions
for like our age, we're probably more grounded than most people. It's like when I go to like college parties or.
I don't know how grounded I am though, because like,
you're pretty fucking grounded.
No, I'm not talking about this shit, but like it's like when I go outside, I still have social anxiety. Like I still feel like the pain of social anxiety and shit. And when I like, you know, talk to girls or whatever, it's still like when I talk to a like really hot girl, I'm just like still like that.
See, I think that comes from lack of experience, though. I think the more girls you date, the more, like, you're going to understand, like, you won't have the social anxiety anymore. Like, I still get it in new situations, but it's like I've learned enough to where I don't let it hold me back, if that makes sense. So it's still there. Like, it never goes away. But, like, definitely, like, you're pretty grounded in, like, the, like...
Ego.
Huh?
Ego.
No, like the fucking spirituality and like all this shit. You have like a lot of knowledge that not a lot of people know, and that's like, Like, definitely more.
Another thing from Tao Te Ching though, it's like everyone. I had this page open for like a while, just because like I was like thinking about it for a while. The quote was something like, it was a chapter. Each page is a chapter, and you have to like, the way I realized you have to read the Tao Te Ching, is each page is a chapter. So there's like 100. I don't know how many chapters actually, but so like if there's like 100 chapters, each page is like chapter 1, chapter 2, but it's only like a small quote for each chapter. But if you think about that quote for a while, that quote becomes bigger the magnitude of the meaning becomes bigger.
The more you think about it?
Yeah, so what I was saying, so it's like everybody's searching for info, more knowledge, but really but everything is it. So it's like the only thing that will ever exist is the Tao, which is like the life force or whatever. That's it. So everybody's searching for more of this like knowledge about like I was saying, like a spirit. Like many people like search for info about like spirituality and stuff. Really, it's just being there.
Just the nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like all you got.
Silence is the essence of spirituality.
All you got to do is meditate.
Basically, yeah. Sit and do nothing. It's Wu Wei from Tao Te Ching, which means doing nothing.
I forget what video I was watching, but there was like a video where the guy was talking about like how even in the Bible, they're saying shit like be still and know that I'm God. So it's like that be still part of just being like, it's like, what if heaven, what they're talking about is here, like all along, and it's just like, you just gotta be still.
I think Tao, or like, so the life force or whatever, I think that can also be translated to God, because it's almost like we're God. I mean, we are God, because I guess we're an expression of it or whatever. I'm not saying, we're some like guy in the sky, but like, we're like, our awareness is God.
One of like the like really so like one of the guys on YouTube that I watched, that Koi Fresco guy.
Yeah.
He was talking about like he was probably the first like spiritual guru on YouTube that I started watching.
The only reason I stopped watching him, because like I don't know, he's a little too woo for me.
Yeah.
But because he talks about like astrology and shit. Because I was the first time I was trying to like research psychedelics. That's how I got into them.
He doesn't do psychedelics
Anymore.
Yeah, but he did.
Yeah.
But like I hate. How do you feel?
Like the astral realms or some shit like that. I was like,
yeah.
Is that real? Holy shit.
I haven't really watched this shit like anymore, or since like the last video I watched was like a while ago. But he was talking about how like what if, or what he believes like heaven to be, or this like other like what happens when you die shit. And he kind of talks about how like, so when the universe was formed, it was just like matter coming into like a being, kind of like a planet, right? And then from that matter, it's like we came about too. So it's like we're part of the universe matter just coming together. And then he says like we're kind of just vessels that capture that, like whatever that essence is. So like he says like consciousness really is like the only constant. So it's like consciousness is floating like all around us.
I agree with like consciousness is the only constant, but whatever, like what you said before that, I feel like that just like that made it way more complicated than like it had to be.
The whole like universe coming into
it has come together, like I feel like no, really, it's just it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess maybe the way he put it that way was just for people to relate to it, But I don't know if that's what he meant by it. But anyways, what he was saying is like when we die, it's like then we're just like back into like consciousness, like the sea of consciousness.
Yeah.
So it's like that just bliss. So it's like that's why meditating for me, it was like my first, like that's when you first realize like your consciousness and just like what it is, and like,
and also you realize the observer, and you realize that there is an observer observing your thoughts.
Yeah. And it's not, your thoughts aren't even you. It's just
and like, even like saying observer, it's not really the observer, it's just the observingness. Observing your thoughts. And they're not really your thoughts. Like, did you invent your thoughts?
Yeah.
You didn't invent your fucking thoughts. They're just coming from nothing. Your mind is inventing them, and just did like phenomenon. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't own anything in the world. It's just fucking nothing. There's nothing. Nothing exists.
There's nothing. This is nothing.
You don't have to get pussy because there's nothing.
Sit in a room all day and don't take action. Just meditate. But back to
realize your oneness.
Back to like what you were saying about how like being like grounded and where we are at compared to like a lot of people, like it's weird the more girls you start dating too, like you realize like how not fucked up they are, but like literally like the issue
How like they have like, I don't want to say no direction, but it's like their life is petty.
Yeah, like
that sounds horrible, but like
it's like when you communicate with someone, like when you're saying like below that 200 level, like you're a fucking animal.
Mhm.
It's like you kind of, it's bad, but you don't look at them as like an equal, you know? Because it's like
Mhm.
your level of consciousness is like super high compared
like,
to them.
it's almost like I'm like I'm extremely turned off by those people.
Yeah.
Like there's something about it that literally it's like the opposite side. Like I literally feel it's in my mind. It's like opposite sides of a magnet.
Mhm.
Something where it's like they even though I try to become close to them, it pushes away more.
Mm-hmm.
And they're turned off by me being, you know, like into self-development. And like, you know, from my perspective, it's like, how can you be turned off from somebody if they're into self-development?
I feel like girls aren't, even though they say they are. Like I think they like seeing a guy who knows like all these things.
They do
You
on a
know?
certain level, I think.
I think as long as you're not trying to change them, like as long as you're not like
No,
forcibly
because like
pushing-
if the girl likes you, then she'll rationalize anything about you. Like
True.
Like dude, like my best female friend, like she likes this guy, and like she talks about how he's a loner, and like I'm a fucking loner, and like we joke about it like that, like it's fucking like weird that I'm a loner, but then she talks about him, and it's like he's a fucking loner. He's just like, oh my god, he's just like so dark and mysterious, like oh, you know, like shit like that. So like. If we say we're into self-development and the girl likes us, she'll be like, oh my god, he's just like so into like self-development, and like, you know, like Tyler talks about this, like, you know, but and that's, I feel like sometimes that's the reason that girls like me. Like he's just like, he knows how to train people in the gym, like he just like works out a lot, and like, but he doesn't do it to look good. He just does it for him. Like
and that's hot.
Like girls have said that to me. I'm
Hot.
like, yeah. He's just like really into like I feel like. Sometimes I tell girls like one day I want to help guys get good with girls, and like the girls will be like, oh my god, like that's just so noble.
Like that is such a noble trait. You help